Hey everyone, Nick Shane here looking at a few pot stocks. So MJ is the ETF. They've had some good action recently, but they're kind of stuck in the muck here. The lows, the poke highs, somewhere in the middle. So indecision. So if you want to bunch this whole up, will be one doji. The good thing is that they're consolidating here. Maybe they're building base, but until one of these two breaks out, on the short term, I don't know if I want to do anything from that perspective. I don't have any position there, so I'm not speaking my book. You don't want to lose this one, because if you do, then you would do something like this. Not calling for it, I'm just saying what the threat is. There is a wedge here that's building. Maybe they do this. All depends. I am one to prefer chasing levels rather than break of trend lines. So this is a descending trend line. Some people like to chase the breakout of it. I'd rather chase the breakout from this level, which was a ledge. So if I were to draw the lines, I'd draw it somewhere like this instead. Matter of preference. So where would I get excited if they take this out? So let's say this wedge breaks in the favor of the bulls and they do whatever they want, zigzag. There'll be resistance here, resistance at 1750-ish. Once they take out 1790, then we'll be talking some sort of an upward movement. However, job number one is to hold the bottom. Is there a fine line? Yeah, I don't know, but if I were to place one, I would put at the last bounce, which was this one, 1668-ish. So depends on how fast one is trading. So this is a 2-hour chart. If you want to come down to smaller levels, then you would have slightly more details, but it all depends on the person. All right, this is MJ. What about CGC? Canopy is the best price action just from the quick look at it. I pointed out this squeeze here and it played out upwards. CEO headline, back, they're still holding that pop bottom. So again, here there's a wedge, same type of a deal. Descending wedge, what's going to happen, right? And it's also the point of control. So again, it's building a base, but from a higher perspective to its low of the earnings debacle. This cluster is cool for the bulls. It gives them some sort of a, okay, should the you-know-what hit the fan, I know I've got a cluster that supports me below here. Whereas the other one is like at the bottom. So it's like close to this one here. So in this case, yes, there's an open gap. Maybe they'll take it out, maybe not. Not every gap gets filled. There's an open gap here. So some of them will get filled. For now, this price action is better than the other chart and also has the opportunity to hold the low. So if somebody says, okay, so what do? I would say, you know, there's a tightening range. Everything is coming to a point, so something's got to give at some point. And this is a 2-hour chart again, so these are like soon, not like weeks ago or later. So look for the breakout of the trend line or the breakout of the level. This zone, because it's point of control, is going to be difficult to break out of. Why? Because it's by definition active. So buyers and sellers come in and buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, creates congestion. It's hard to break out. But if they break out of it, then they could use it as support. ACB, if I remember correctly, it's got a ugly chart relative to the other one. Same squeeze, it broke down. It broke out, but then broke down, so it couldn't hold its greens. But where it fell was kind of foreseeable. In fact, I did a video on it, and I caught some flack because I put a tag on it, study tag, and somebody called me on it. Anyway, but it was correct. So where it fell is understandable, but why is it falling back to the earnings debacle? CGC wasn't at its earnings debacle. This is the earnings debacle. It's a lot higher now. This one is not holding its water, so I don't like it. So is it going to here? I don't know. But here's the thing. If I go to a daily chart, there's nothing down there. And look, it tried here to hold, and it looked good like it was going to hold. It looked good like it was going to break out. Same deal. It broke apart. The rally faltered at prior pokes. The rally faltered at a prior poke, and then they puked it. So you don't want that to be another red zone. Just word of caution, ACB. And this used to be a good performer stock-wise. It's not. Tilray, whoa. The last video, I think I said that I don't have any good thing to say about it, and it's still the truth. Boy, talk about a champ that went down the toilet. Kronos is probably the one that should hold the best, according to on paper. So here's what I can do. I can do this, move it over to here, because maybe I don't want to do this and confuse people. So it depends on how you draw the trend lines. I'm going to delete this because then I'll forget and I'll have this little guy here forever. The squeeze broke up and then failed at prior pivots, which is understandable. And if you look left, I'm here, right? Look at this. So this level where it failed is not a coincidence. So what now? Okay, now it has two proven support levels, and I put support in quotes here because they're supported until they're not. But it doesn't look good, the trend, and it needs help from the whole sector. So from here, to add to my longs, I wouldn't average down, that's for sure. These are support, but not enough for me to say, okay, I'm going to double down. Averaging down in iffy stocks, and don't take offense to the word iffy here, is not a good idea. Especially if it's too close to the time I added the first time. So I'm not long in this one either. I'm not in any pot stock, so this is an unbiased opinion. I'm not passionate about hating them or loving them. I just try to look at the charts and see if I can help short term. Short term, it looks like they want to hold this as a base. They want to establish this higher low trend, but there is a lower high trend. So I should, copy this one and do, to be true to that. It's too many lines, but I'm going to keep them. So what's going to happen? This or the white one out? It all depends on the next few ticks. And this is a 2-hour chart, so every candle you see here represents 2 hours. So not super fast, but definitely not very slow either. APHA, party hat, like a Devo hat. There, I'm dating myself here. Good relative to the debacle from not too long ago. Good that it has a base. Okay, so in theory, this should be a place where the bulls have some guts to stop the slide because of this cluster. So if I were to draw a box, I would say, okay, there might be some support around this cluster right here. I know this is a wide band, but at least if I'm long, I'm not panicking out until I see what happens here. They priced out completely this whole nice rally, all of it. And if I'm looking at it eyeball, Fibonacci guy, I don't bring him in often. It all depends if you believe in the Fibonacci. It's hard to deny. Let's say this is a rally extension right here. Eyeball, somewhere in the middle, is right here, right? So in any rally of any ticker, if I give up, is this Fibonacci here? Somewhere in there. Anyway, if I give up half the rally, I don't panic. Where is it? There we go, thank God. Okay, so this is an extension. 50% of it is right there. So in any rally, if I down or up, if I give up 50% of it, I'm not panicking out because it's normal price action. You burst, you breathe, you give and take to establish a good base, shake out a few weak hands. So, recent profits want to shake out. It works on the way down too. So if I did this, 50% would be somewhere around here, and look where the consolidation zone is, right around this 50% on the way down. So it's not to poo-poo it. It's great information. It wouldn't drive my trade. It would just give me more confirmation to, okay, this is a level where there should be some buyers. This is a good consolidation zone here on this ticker, acreage. So again, this is a pivot level, and there's action above it and below it, and they're trying to hold above it. They're holding above the point of control. This is good news. So again, the point of control is where mathematically there was most action in the volume. Not good. Okay, they're trying to base, but they're not giving me good warm and fuzzies. The only good thing about it is that long term, this is a daily chart. It was a point of contention until they completely broken out of it. They tested it, success. They testing it now, success? I don't know. So I guess from this perspective, it's proven support zone until it fails. So if it fails, God help them below. But if it doesn't, then it's proven support zone. If I didn't get out of it yet, I wouldn't get out of it until this support fails. Okay, so GW. Open gap on earnings. So what the heck is this? Two earnings this close together? That might be a mistake. So they would probably, management would probably need to say something, or the market will have to say something that, okay, they're going to take out the reason why this fell here. So keep that in mind. When do I start chasing it? If it breaks above 112. So I'm going to go back to 2-hour charts here. This poke. In fact, if I were actively trading this guy, I would put alert. And usually I put a blurb. There'll be one alert here and one here, 114, because that's another ledge. So from wherever they fell, they're going to stall. But if they don't, they have some sort of a cup and handle. What's a cup and handle? It's a bullish pattern. I use crayons to do, my patterns. So if you're a technician, don't be offended. I know that you guys are awesome. But the technicians will tell you if you get some sort of a cup and handle, you should rally about the cup size. So this will put you at the mouth of the gap. So for me, the idea is this was a ledge, right? And a neckline. They came back to it, they failed. And if they come back to it and they take it out, and then they come back to it and use it as support, then this comes to fruition. And even then I would have to look left, maybe some stall here, definite stall here. But then once they get into the gap, they might eat it up fast, at least until here. Not a forecast, just saying a possibility. On the downside, you need to hold this or you do that. So there we go. We've got our box. Let's go put it on the chart. Box. I'm going to do it in this way. So if we get this, we're going to do that. And if we get that, I like levels more than trend lines. I said it again, and I'll say it again. Not scientific, it's quick, so I can go through this video quickly. This threw up a flag today for me. I moved it higher. The flag was that it exceeded this guy, but you know, the trend line, okay, it's broken up, so it should run higher, but I'm leery of that fail right there. So there's another ledge, and look, it's exactly today's fail. I'm putting fail in quotes. So I moved the alert higher. I don't want to get faked out. This is a rising wedge of sorts, so I don't want to get faked out. If I'm long, it has options, I think, but the last time I looked, if I remember correctly, it's very thin, so it's hard to trade through options, but it's low enough, not cheap, low enough ticker size that one can trade it as a stock. XO, this is the range, middle of the range. Looks like this is in play. I wouldn't go long it just because I should have gotten out if I was holding it. This was a consolidation period that failed, and maybe they're pricing this out. I don't know. There might be some support at 178, 180. Okay, there's one big box here. Can't provide you with much more. If I want to chase it, I wouldn't chase it until this guy. This is a potentially some support where it's at right now, so cross your fingers and hope for the best. In theory, it has two pokes here, three pokes, three island locations. One is up here, one is here, and one is here. So there's, you know, they fought over it here hard. They fought over it here hard, and they're fighting it over here hard. Let's hope this one is support. It should be support, but let's hope it is. All right, so this is a quick look on pot stocks. I drew some lines. Hopefully I'll do more of these videos, but don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also try the chat room if you want. There's a link below.